staring at an object of everyday interest compulsively.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I guess we'll just do this one as well real quick while we're here. Miss Anne, who made the Boruto scenario?
I know what this is referring to.
I don't remember. I'm glad you did.
I do.
I have zero clue.
Well, if you had to do a shot in the dark, who made
Like
it?
a real life person, not a character. A person made it. Who was it?
Okay, I remember Kamui that we were memeing that she was gonna say like Kawaki, Ada, Omnipotence. I remember thinking that. Oh, but I don't remember what this is.
Oh, like
to.
it's not. Is it in world or is it out of world? So like somebody from real life made this thing, or somebody in the Boruto like character.
Real life.
Okay.
They made this scenario.
Is it a Japanese person or an American other nationality person?
Well, as far as we're aware, they're Japanese anyway.
I'm gonna be right back.
So it's a Japanese person?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Ikemoto, is it?
It's not Ikimoto.
Somebody who works on Boruto? I'm assuming it's also not Kishimoto. Or Nishio, or I don't know.
It's none of those people. Well, before we give you the answer, what do you think the Boruto scenario is?
I have zero clue.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you who made it, and then we'll see if you can figure out what the scenario is. So Kodachi made the scenario. What is the Boruto scenario?
I have no idea.
Really? Well, that's interesting. We once upon a time had no idea as well. But what I can tell you is that you have a big fan, actually, and you've discussed things with them at least one point in your life in this very Discord, and he's the one who brought this to our attention.
Is it space?
It is not space.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I'll give you a hint. Ino is in his name.
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Faberino. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation. Okay.
So he's the one who said it. Now, I mean, hopefully all the clues are clicking together for you at this point. What is the Boruto scenario?
I still have no clue.
Well, I mean, what do you think Kodachi did for the Boruto series?
Oh, like making the anime partially canon to the manga, or like.
Well, besides that, let's focus on the manga aspect. What would you say Kodachi's job was?
Making pacing flow smoothly.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know if you just remember what his official thing he was always credited for in the manga chapters was, or in maybe one word or 3 words, however you want to do it, what he did. I mean, anything ring a bell?
Editing?
Well,
guessing.
I mean, do you remember what was written on all those chapter covers? Where it says Ikimoto did blank, Kishimoto did blank, and Kodachi did blank. You have any memory of what it said?
I honestly don't remember, but I'm gonna take a wild guess, and I'm gonna say it was scenario writer.
Well, not quite. So,
I know.
I mean, we're not gonna say you're entirely wrong yet, but for now, that is incorrect.
Actually, Kamui, I'm glad that you're asking as non-ASCII as possible, because the fact that Miss Anne doesn't know only proves our point, and the longer she isn't confident in an answer only proves it further.
So, if it isn't, I guess you don't have any other guesses, do you?
I mean, no.
So, okay, let's start giving you hints. Have you ever done like theater, drama, anything like that?
It's not a scriptwriter, is it?
What? It's funny you say that. That is exactly what he is, actually. It's what he was specifically credited for doing.
I see.
Now, with that in mind, are you connecting the dots? Wait, okay, we established he's the script writer. So where does the scenario come in? The Boruto scenario.
I need to Google the definition of scenario.
No, I implore you to do so.
Oh boy.
And go ahead, read it to us.
A description of a possible or imagined sequence of events or an outline of a play's film plot characters. Wait, isn't this Kishimoto though? Who's supposed to be have out, or who's supposed to have outlined the whole thing?
Well, 3%.
3%.
Off the top of your head,
It outlines potential development.
Kishimoto said it.
Like a worst case scenario.
Actually, sorry. He did 3% of the outline.
Yeah.
3%.
Well, less than 3% to be exact.
Of the outline.
I love clarifying that every time.
Sorry, it talks about like how they help think of possible scenarios for the future. I had to think of the word scenario in a different setting, but or like summarizing events and characters and detailing the sequence in which they appear and all that kind of stuff.
Well, to be fair, Miss Anne, there's a reason you had to think about it in that different setting, because absolutely nobody uses it in that other setting. And even Fabrino himself doesn't use it in that setting consistently, considering his first and last message with the word scenario in it is using it correctly the way it's used, as a scenario rather than as a scriptwriter. But all the in-between messages, on the other hand.
Mind you, when we consistently kept saying script and telling him nobody says that, just use script, he just kept saying scenario.
So
scenario, I feel like it's different because like script writing would be more like detailing the actual lines and stuff, and scenario is like more about the situation the characters are in and like the forward momentum of the plot. Sorry.
So when we tried to tell Fabrino what you said and that he's wrong and stupid, I feel like I could just end the sentence there. I've already got the point across. But yeah, so okay, the funniest part about this is the last time you were on, Miss Anne, Fabrino was on at the same time. This was after Kamui had already gone to bed. You probably didn't catch it. I'm sorry, Kamui, but you probably didn't catch it. But Fabrino was doing this live in the voice call with us. He was using scenario when he would have used scriptwriter otherwise, almost as if to spite me, and I was laughing every time he did it, at least subtly. You probably didn't catch on that he was doing that consistently, though.
I had no clue.
Yeah. So, just reading a couple texts here, because I'm curious what the Japanese credits give, because it gives Kishimoto, the original supervisor, and manga by Ikimoto, scenario by Kodachi. The initial scenario was handed over to Kishimoto.
German version.
I have all the volumes.
You know, Kodachi and Kishimoto, they're responsible for the initial scenario. Ikimoto received the scenario to write a continuation. Has been responsible for Boruto manga since chapter 1.
See, that's the problem. Though. Okay, again, can it technically work? Sure, but when you say that, what does everyone including writers, think, not the script.
Yeah,
They think he got, oh yeah, the scenario will be there's an alien.
it's literally the word Capcom, which means script. Like,
You're barking up the wrong tree, tell it to us. Well, counterpoint. Ikimoto had full responsibility for the Boruto manga. Kodachi was only credited for the scenario.
I feel like he probably wrote, like, I don't know whether Ikimoto was just doing, like, the drawing at that point.
Well, the scenario is the work that Kishimoto and Kodachi wrote and then handed to Ikimoto so he could create a continuation called Boruto. This scenario largely comes to an end in Volume 14, and with it, Kodachi's credit also ends.
Ah. I think I understand.
Well, we don't.
So in like how should I explain this? If like you know how there's like storyboarding and stuff for manga?
Oh, we know all about it. Trust me.
So I think basically like Kishimoto gave the general like how should I say that? You know, like plot point structure. So like this happens and then this happens and then this is the turning point and then this is the whatever. So it'll be like
right. So the thing Ikimoto doesn't use.
You have like a 7 or 10 or however many points of like an outline that you kind of have to follow. Not have to follow, but like you have it in order to be able to follow it if you want to, if that makes sense.
And as we know, canonically, according to interviews, Ikimoto doesn't follow it. He's constantly changing it. Just ignores it, throws it out the window. He looks at the first 3 and says, I like that. And the arc at 0.4 out of 7.
By the way, I don't know where it is, Kamui, so we don't have to get into it right now, but as you pointed out, Kishimoto explicitly requested the 3-act structure be used for the Boruto movie.
I know.
The what?
Just makes it crazier. He's like, no, we're not doing that. We're doing this.
It really emphasized that. I don't know where it is. Either, they know. It's somewhere.
Yeah. So
I was just watching interviews for the movie the other day, like with the voice actors and stuff, because I was playing a solitaire game and needed something to listen to.
Spider Solitaire is the funnest.
But yeah, I think so. After you get like Kishimoto gave like the rough outline, right, and then Kodachi would have given like so let's say like the scene is maybe he would have given like a scene outline. So Kishimoto would have given like the very rough, like a couple bullet points of an overarching from beginning to end, and then Kodachi would have taken it and been like, okay, so I think we should start with a scene where this thing needs to be accomplished, and then in the next chapter this thing needs to be accomplished. And so then Ikimoto would take that and be like, okay, so I'm gonna write it this way and then draw it this way, and they're gonna have this lines, if that makes sense.
Well, it does. The problem with that is that unless the Japanese people are using scriptwriter wrong, the scriptwriter does not stop there. Like
I think it covers a wider variety of things than like really detailed.
Yeah. So
well, to be fair, Ikimoto in an interview specified that Kodachi handles the delicate part of the script. He's not doing the bare bones vague, but no, he's doing the delicate parts.
So that is to say,
I can't think of anything more delicate than the final draft.
Exactly. That's to say, it isn't Kodachi only responsible for the scenario which was handed to Ikimoto before Boruto Chapter 1. That's to say it isn't that.
I need to read that again.
We also know that he was actively just ongoingly involved in those first 52 chapters based on the interviews and the way he and Ikimoto worked together.
So this is actually
It wasn't just
realistically the whole like point of the scenario versus scriptwriter argument in the first place, is that Fabrino thinks that Ikimoto has been the Boruto writer since chapter 1.
I think he probably handled like. I feel like Ikimoto still. I'm pretty sure it's still like, even if they say like delicate, because Japan is very like, you talk up to other people and you praise them for, you overpraise them.
No, not anymore with Kodachi.
Yeah, they only ignore him.
Well, no, but like in the beginning, if they said something like, "Oh, he handles the delicate parts of the script," it could be talking about like character arcs and character emotions and how those all come into play in like what people are feeling at certain times, and not necessarily like directly like draw this expression here. He does that. He turns left here. Like,
oh yeah, of
like,
course.
Well,
no,
yeah,
we
so,
agree.
okay, so real quick, let's just say he doesn't write any dialogue. He just does the character arcs and emotion stuff. We still think it did something for sure. It definitely had value. But ignoring that. So I always said this. Ikimoto has always had creative liberty. Obviously, when it comes to the drawing, how he's going to do... Like, Kodachi at the most is going to say, have a sunset, if he even does that. But, like, he's not going to tell him what part of the panel it's going to be or how to lay out the panels or anything like that. Like, that Ikimoto's doing all of that, realistically. Kodachi might say, okay, Boruto's gonna cry, but like he's not gonna overly. Most of that is just gonna be Ikimoto, first of all. Second, Ikimoto has the option to make modifications to the script Kodachi gives him. He sends it back to Kodachi, so Kodachi can then say, terrible idea, Ikimoto, go back to what I wrote, or he might say, I like your changes, go ahead. But Ikimoto gets that chance to do that. Third is just in the creative process, whenever they do have their meetings every freaking who knows when, Ikimoto was allowed to present ideas. Like, realistically, you have all three are like coming together to give ideas. Okay, what's the next arc going to be about? Oh, I don't know. Let's have Kawaki show up. Ikimoto at least is saying it was his idea to do it sooner rather than later. Whether or not that was actually Kodachi stealing his credit, I don't know. But either way, he's saying that. He's had the ability to do that. But even if he says, hey, I think we should have Kawaki show up early, and Kodachi's like, oh, good idea. Kodachi wrote the Kawaki arc. Like, realistically, if you're going to pick one person, you're going to say Kodachi wrote it. Even though, yes, there's going to be certain aspects that are influenced by Ikimoto. He's drawing it, first of all, and he has the option to, like, present more of his ideas.
It's input, yeah.
But it's ultimately started and ended with Kodachi in terms of the writing.
But that's also to say, despite it being a collaborative process, Ikimoto essentially has to ask for permission to do his ideas, and regardless, Kodachi, the writer, gets the final say on the writing.
Okay, yeah, I guess I agree with that.
Well, Fabrino, take that. But anyway, what you're saying, Miss And, is you disagree with the notion that Kodachi is not important in the Boruto manga. He only is responsible for the scenario.
I think he was very important to the Boruto manga.
So, what you're saying...
The funniest part about that is, like, okay, regardless of what you think he did, it's like, everyone agrees. There's, whether you like it for better or for worse, everyone seems to agree there is a difference in the writing from when Kodachi was there versus when he wasn't. So clearly he was important. He clearly made a difference.
I think it wasn't so much a difference in the writing, like the way, it's still Ikimoto's wording, for sure. You can see that from, like, when you read it in Japanese, it still very much sounds like his tone. So I don't think Kodachi put words in his mouth kind of thing, but I do think he was very involved in shaping everything, if that makes sense. So, like you guys said, like, hey, don't do this here. Hey, you should do this here. if you want to make any changes, run it by me first, that kind of thing. But yeah, there is definitely a difference after he left in terms of like how the flow of the story ended up going and how scenes ended up being laid out, which is what I think his primary job was.
So what you're
To control, I
saying
mean.
is it would be stupid if someone said Kodachi is partly responsible for the scenario that was handed over to Ikimoto.
I don't necessarily want to call somebody else stupid.
You would call him an idiot.
I don't think he's entirely.
Well, maybe not
You have to stop yourself because he is entirely blank.
Just boast.
I don't think he's entirely wrong though, because he's. Wait, sorry, my brain is like buffering really bad right now. He is also partially responsible for the scenario that was handed over to Ikimoto. I said Boruto. That's how bad my brain is lagging.
So obviously there's just one sentence in the middle of like other things. He's saying that Kodachi only worked on world building stuff, such as the like end of chapter like blurbs or whatever.
No,
he definitely worked on more than that.
I would say when he refers to the scenario, he's talking about world building. Like,
yeah.
Well, the scenario is like the story as a whole. So, like every scenario.
I don't know. He said it was only the first draft of the script.
It is technically so. Like he would give him the first draft, right? And Ikimoto would look at it and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna change this, this, and this," and he would give it back to Kodachi, and Kodachi would be like, "I don't know if I like the way that you changed that, so let's talk about it." And he would be like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe we could do this instead because this is why I changed it." And then they would be like, "Oh, okay. So let's do it this way." And then he would go fix it and then bring it back, and he would be like, "It's good now."
Well, that all assumes that Kodachi sent Ikimoto the first draft and not like, I don't know, a fifth draft.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was like controlling the flow of how things go again, and then like Ikimoto was, it starts with E. What's the word? I'm embellishing on that.
I mean, it definitely could be. But basically, Fabrino's argument is that more or less he thinks that Kodachi's only thing that he did for Boruto was the hidden ninja scroll world building pages, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kodachi's input on Boruto as a franchise.
Yeah, no, he definitely did a lot more than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we agree.